Hello everyone, this is Mike and Jake from Shillin Wealth Management with an economic update for May 2020. In this month's video, we'll discuss some recent headlines that influenced the financial markets in April. We will also provide some perspective on what these developments may mean in the months ahead. Please stay tuned at the end of this video for a required disclosure statement as well. Stocks rebounded sharply in April, fueled by a flattening pandemic curve and positive results from the clinical trial of a virus treatment. The Dow Industrials, which had dropped 14% in March, jumped 11%. The S&P 500 rose nearly 13%, while the Nasdaq Composite led, surging more than 15%. A slowdown in COVID-19 infections allowed stocks to turn higher, while a more stable bond market also helped to support the rally. Momentum stalled a bit as oil prices dropped, but gains accelerated as the month progressed as more states began talking about reopening their economies. In the coming weeks and months, as the national dialogue shifts towards restarting the economy, two key factors may help investors gauge the pace of their recovery. The first could be each state's actions. The White House has rolled out a three-step plan toward a full reopening, but it leaves the ultimate decision-making to the governors of each state. The second factor could be public sentiment. How soon will be people returning to an office to work, going out to eat, and traveling again? That honestly remains to be seen. April's employment report, released this past Friday, saw a spike to 14.7% in the unemployment rate. As severe as these numbers may be, 88% of April's newly unemployed characterized their job loss as temporary rather than permanent, as opposed to 47% of the newly unemployed in March who said that their job loss was temporary. A silver lining, perhaps? That's it for this month's economic update. Jake will now discuss several investment strategies to keep in mind as we continue to live through these unusual times. Jake?
Thanks, Mike. In looking at where to invest, it's important to stay flexible. Relative value is changing rapidly as new information comes out every day. Some industries, like technology and healthcare, are flat or even positive this year, while others, like financials and energy, are down more than 30% still. Again, I stress the importance of being flexible. Since all equity investments won't recover in unison, we have to be willing to go where the value remains, not to try to chase performance. There are areas of the market still presenting opportunities for patient investors, but we would discourage any investment strategy centered around trying to find the next big thing coming out of all of this. Diversification remains a key component to proper investing over the long term. While we may overweight or underweight certain areas from time to time, it's important to not lose sight of the end goal, why we invest, and creating a more consistent approach to getting there. For most investors, a 10% annual return isn't necessary to reach their goals, and the risk associated with that may be more than they are comfortable taking on. We don't know exactly which type of investment is going to be the best performer finishing out the second half of this year and entering into next year, but we do know that making a drastic portfolio change could significantly alter the path towards your goals. For some, the idea of going to cash or selling investments that are included in your long-term planning of your portfolio feels like the right decision right now, given so much uncertainty. However, just missing out on a handful of the best days in the market will have a big impact on the ending value of your portfolio. While the second quarter economic data still isn't going to look rosy, we remain optimistic in the recovery and look forward to safely getting back to normalcy soon.
Once again, this is Mike and Jake with Shillin Wealth Management, signing off for the month of May. Please remember that nothing we talk about here is a recommendation. If you would like to discuss your personal financial situation, please give us a call. We'd be happy to talk to you. We appreciate you all and hope that you and your families continue to remain safe during these challenging times. As always, the Shillin Wealth Management team is here for you. Thank you and take care.